Hey everybody, welcome to The Blank Show. My name is Kirk Scarborough and I am super excited about this episode. Later on we're going to be visiting Birmingham, New Orleans, and LA, but first, let's take a trip around the organization in a segment that we like to call the TFA Buzz.
Hey, I'm Brian and I work with our alumni in Nashville. This year we've partnered with the recruitment team to pilot an alumni mentoring initiative. So we partnered 10 of our local alumni with first generation college students at Fisk University here in Nashville. And we know that navigating the college experience can be particularly challenging for first generation students, so we're hoping that this experience will help them ultimately graduate. I want to hand it over to my colleague Jasmine now, who's going to tell you all a little bit more.
Thanks, Brian. I'm Jasmine Sanders, and I'm a director on the HBCU recruitment team. Given Fisk University's rich legacy during the Civil Rights Movement, I'm so excited for our Nashville alums to also be leaving a similar legacy through mentorship. Through the power of social media, we've seen these mentor-mentee relationships unfold with pictures on Facebook and Instagram, and we're really excited to continue this amazing initiative and hopefully replicate it in regions in the future.
Hey there, Teach for America world. I'm here to tell you about how the Early Childhood Education, the ECE initiative, is taking the social media world by storm in 2014. Because of our amazing core members, our wonderful alumni, and our staff just like you, are fighting and talking about what our youngest learners around the country and in our communities need and deserve. We're advocating for the Strong Start Act. We're celebrating the State of the Union happenings, and we're doing a whole lot more. You can join the conversation today on Twitter at @TFA_ECE. We'll see you there.
Hi, my name is Sasha Fawaz and I'm in MTLD in Chicago. Our cohort over the past 2 years has done about 50 different experiences to better understand their community. Just a couple would be reading the new Jim Crow and then doing police ride-alongs on the west side and the south side of the city to just see racial profiling firsthand and understand what our kids experience. Reading Gang Leader for a day to better understand gangs in Chicago, as well as visit Section 8 housing together to see the experience of finding housing if you don't have a whole lot of money in the city. We also will visit hospitals for the uninsured, for those who are interested in how health impacts our students. And then another one is going and figuring out the SNAP program and visiting a food desert to see what food is available. And this has been a great help with having our core members better understand communities, since many of my cohort, at least, is not from the communities that we work in.
This is Larissa from TFA Delaware, reporting from rural Delaware, and this is...
Hi, I'm Sean Joseph, Superintendent of Seaford, Delaware.
And this is...
Hi, I'm Dr. Fishburne. I'm the principal at Seaford Senior High School.
Seeing the power and the voice of first-generation college students in our historically black college, DSU, as well as University of Delaware, Aspire and Upward Bound programs, bringing everybody together to show the relevance of college to our partner schools.
It's a wonderful opportunity for children to see students that look like them making a difference and recognizing that college is a reality for them. So what a wonderful opportunity.
And we have 70 first-gen mentors starting in 6 high schools around the state right now this winter.
Yeah, it's helping our students believe that college is an option, but not just believing in that, but realizing the actuality of, hey, I'm going to college and I'm going to be successful. It's a great partnership.
And it's just getting going.
Hey y'all, I'm Suzette.
Hey, I'm Cornelius.
We're from Team Mississippi. We just hosted the 2nd annual Mississippi River Marathon. It started in Lake Village, Arkansas, and ended in downtown Greenville, Mississippi, crossing the Mississippi River Bridge. We had over 1,200 runners.
From Florida State and Fort Country.
We raised $15,000 using Fundly and Team Teach for America, $20,000 through sponsorships, and had over a $500,000 impact on our local community. For more information about the Mississippi River Marathon, like us on Facebook or visit our webpage, msrivermarathon.com.
Come run with us on Valentine's Day next year.
Hi, my name is Liz Rosenberg and I'm a 2012 Houston Core member. I currently teach a great group of AP Government students. We have throughout the year been trying to apply the material to help make our society and the world around us more equal and just. We've been doing this through a Get Out the Vote campaign. We've filmed a video to try to target communities who currently do not vote to go to the polls and vote for someone who will fight for them in the next election. My students wrote the storyline, they filmed the video, and with the help of some really great Teach for America people, we were able to make it a reality. I hope that you watch the video, hope you love it, and take the pledge.
can be anything you want to be.
Through hard work, anything is possible.
This is the land of opportunity.
These are the words that we've heard about the American dream. But are we truly achieving this?
I work 2 jobs in order to help support my family, and I'm still in high school.
I am a dreamer y tengo un sueño de ir a la universidad, but I'm afraid I won't have the resources to achieve my dreams.
These are just individual stories. Now let's look at the country as a whole.
We are 14th in reading, 25th in math, and 17th in science out of 34 developed countries.
This is not the American dream, so why is our dream not coming true?
Because people aren't speaking up for themselves. They don't know the importance of their voice.
In the last presidential election, only 41% of young people voted. This isn't enough since we are the future generation of America. So what do we want for our future?
We have a dream that people recognize that we live in a democracy, that we the people give our consent to the government.
That we will realize through the power of voting, we can make a change.
That when people vote, they don't do it carelessly.
We have a dream that when we vote, we will choose an elected official who will take into consideration our well-being.
El bienestar de mi comunidad.
The well-being of our community.
Make this dream a reality.
So take the pledge.
Pledge. Pledge.
Pledge.
Pledge.
Pledge to vote.
Thanks to everyone who submitted to the TFA Buzz. If you're interested in submitting a story for next episode, feel free to reach out to us. So last month, a snowstorm attempted to cancel our annual TLD Summit in Birmingham, but the show went on. I had the opportunity to travel to Birmingham to chat with a few participants. Let's see what they had to say.
We are at the TLD Summit in Birmingham, Alabama.
Unfortunately, because of the snow, we haven't been able to get out and explore much of the history in the city, though we've been able to bring in a lot of the stories.
As a child who grew up in this city, I just have to be very honest with you all. This moment is just surreal for me, that you all have chosen our city and our state to have this summit.
This year is super special because half the people had a little trouble getting in, and we still made it work, which I think just demonstrates our flexibility and unitedness as an organization to still come together, still have fun, still want to learn, and just the community that was created even in the midst of Snowpocalypse 2014.
But it's been amazing because we've met people from, I think I've met people from all regions, from the Teach for All network, so from different countries and different teams, and just made a lot of connections that I could not have done without this summit.
I just keep on thinking about regions, and I keep on thinking about the connection between all of us, but like how every single region has something specific that's happening in the region, has different dreams and visions for the region, has different challenges.
We have to truly treat students as our end user. Often we let the buck stop with core members or with the experience of our staff members, but if everything that we are doing is not tied directly to how it is benefiting students, then we are not creating the right vision and the right dream.
I truly believe in one day. I truly believe in our kids, and I am going to commit for myself to stop in moments and think about how I am framing things and if I'm truly going about things in the way that I should, but I'm also committing to continue to ask questions that are tough, because I think that is why God put me in the seat that I'm in.
And so for my MTLDs, the foot soldiers of our organization, don't wait for anyone to anoint you to do something. Get in there and just do it.
It is the collective duty and privilege of all of us, everyone in this room, to stop wasting energy hating on your own dreams or the dream of others, but to empower the next generation of student leaders as they fight for justice. What are you going to do about it? Are you up for the challenge?
The Los Angeles region had a really unique way to reinvest alums through their first ever Story Slam. Nicole Delaney has the story. Take it away, Nicole.
Welcome to Los Angeles. My name's Nicole Delaney, and I lead the Alumni Leadership and Engagement Team right here in LA. Welcome to beautiful downtown Inglewood. We are outside the Savoy Theater getting ready for our very first annual Story Slam. Tonight we're trying something different. We're engaging our alums from the early 1990s all the way to 2011. We are bringing people together to share their stories and experiences, laugh, cry, and come together. We have a packed house, 12 slammers hitting the stage, over 125 tickets sold at the beautiful Savoy Theater. Shout out to New York City for a fabulous idea and a new and innovative way to bring us together and engage our alums. Let's get started.
Next morning, 8:30, the principal shows up, superintendent shows up, assistant principal shows up, his parole officer shows up, three different security guards show up in what I call the Hannibal Lecter moment of education, and they drop Shamir off. I welcomed Shamir, I welcomed him in Spanish, which he thought was weird because he thought I was Italian.
You grew up in Houston, right? You're always saying that. You grew up near NASA, with all the rockets. We had a bottle rocket today. It didn't launch, but it kind of looked like everybody else's rocket. That's a start. We should put all our money on that. We can place in that next year.
She taught me how to fall flat on my face teaching. She taught me how to be cautious, handhold. She taught me how to want something so badly for somebody else and to show them instead of force it on them. Critical hope. Most importantly, Mississippi taught me how to love. Kiera, Shayla, Lee, Tay, Vicky, Vanessa. Thank you.
A few weeks ago, alumni school leaders had the opportunity to travel to New Orleans to attend the School Leaders of Color workshop. Dustin Thomas is on the ground in New Orleans and has the story for us. Dustin, welcome to The Blank Show.
Thanks, Kirk. Hi, everyone. My name is Dustin Thomas. I'm the Managing Director of the Alumni Diversity Initiatives team. I am here along with 250 school leaders and emerging leaders of color at our third annual School Leaders of Color workshop.
Dustin, what is the specific focus of these workshops?
Yeah, so the conference this year is focused on the theme of school leaders as change managers. So we're focusing our sessions and conversations around how are we committing to instructional excellence at the same time as our commitment to social justice. So we have sessions and speakers talking about things as, how are we building our bench as school leaders? What are we doing to keep our teachers accountable and supported at the same time? On the other hand, we're also thinking about sessions like how are we supporting our undocumented students and families? Also thinking about how does our identity play a role in the work that we are doing as instructional leaders.
That's awesome, Dustin. I see right behind you the Collective logo. Can you explain to us what the Collective is?
Yeah, Kirk, so the Collective is our Alumni of Color Association for Teach for America. We've been up for a few years, and as you heard, this is our third annual School Leaders of Color workshop. The workshop is really based on one of our biggest pillars of the Collective around leadership development. Leadership development is one of the key pillars of the Collective, along with building our community as people of color, as alumni of color, as well as taking action. So really talking about that social justice piece and what we're doing as a community, as leaders in this community, to take action on behalf of our kids.
Thanks, Dustin. Our correspondent, Darren Lim Yankovitz, had the opportunity to speak to some participants on the ground in New Orleans. Let's see what they have to say.
All right, so Christian, tell me, what brought you here to this conference in New Orleans today?
Just the opportunity to network with other folks that across the nation are doing great things and just the opportunity to share with them.
I'm always looking for new opportunities to grow, and I feel like Teach for America always puts on great conferences with a lot of diverse opinions. I think this is specifically even more diverse, but yeah, so I just was looking for ways to get better in my job.
What brings me here is really my students in Providence, where I'm working, or in Rhode Island, where I work now, and the students that I taught back in South Dakota. It's just knowing that if we're really going to change things for them, we need to be better leaders. And being better isn't just better at instructional components, but also just being socially aware, socially just, and how we lead and how we build relationships.
I am an aspiring leader, and so I was granted the Emerging Leader Scholarship to come and
So I was excited because I got to be the only person from Hawaii representing and to be at this conference and learn and hopefully bring something back to our state.
What do you learn so far? Like, what are the big things that you want to take with you back to your practice as a principal?
So mainly, aside just from the networking and collaboration, it's been helpful just getting those little tidbits, things I can implement right away in my school.
Just the continued learning piece. I've had the opportunity to go to the 2 sessions where I feel like the research that I've been presented with is really empowering to me. It's something that I think I can take and move forward with, something I feel like I can use to put in place, help my practices improve tomorrow.
I'm so appreciative that this conference exists.
Yeah.
Everyone I've talked to is thrilled to see so many people of color in one place.
Does this space feel different to you at all, given that everyone here is a man or a woman of color?
I mean, yes, definitely. I mean, I just had a comprehensive interview as part of a certification program, and I talked about how powerful it was for my scholars to see me as a man of color coming into the school as a future leader. And so in the same way, it's powerful for me to see the people up on the podium or the people sitting next to me. They're men and women of color, they're black men, they're Latina women, like, who are doing bigger things and better things than I am. And I'm just like, if they can do that, I can do this. And so that's really empowering.
Absolutely. Awesome, man. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
As you heard from all of the interviews, we are having some incredible energy. We're having some incredible conversations. I'm personally excited as an alum of color to see how our school leaders are taking these conversations and taking action back into their local communities.
For our last Blink Show, you, the viewers, had the opportunity to vote on your favorite submissions to our Blink Show Holiday Special in our 2nd annual Blankie Awards. And the winners are...
Giving me the best award of my life, and just to look at you is giving me the best pride of my life.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi there.
Hi, what's your name?
I'm Best Comedy Performance 2013. Who are you?
Oh, I'm Best Dance Performance 2012.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
we look the same.
We really do.
That is neat.
That's neat. You want to be best friends?
I want to be best friends forever.
Let's live in New Mexico forever. Best friends. Yay!
It's an honor to receive this Blankie.
I never thought we'd be up here.
Man, this is huge.
We'd like to thank the TFA Academy, the voters, the actors, the heroes.
Thank my mom and dad, all our spouses, the better halves that accepted our need to be more.
But most of all, we'd like to thank all the teachers out there.
They're the true agents of change, fighting for social justice.
Empowering our city's children.
Building the future heroes and champions of our city, state, and country.
Thanks for helping Baltimore be more than it can be.
Be more hardcore.
Dude, if we were any more awesome, we'd explode.
Congratulations to all of the winners of the Blankie Awards. Now it's time for us to transition to our final segment of the episode, our Ask the CEO portion of the Blink Show. You submitted the questions, and now they give us the answers. Now I'm going to take liberty of asking the first question, so EVB. We've heard a lot about this What's Next at TFA event happening on Tuesday, March 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What can we expect from that?
Well, thanks for the question, Kirk. So Matt and I will have been in our tenure for 1 year, and we're looking forward to an opportunity to just share what's on our mind and also just engage in a conversation about that. And so look for more details coming up in March. Matt, I have a question for you.
Yes.
So this comes from Crystal Brackey in your hometown. Yeah. What are the things that you care most about for your own kids' education?
Hey, Crystal. So that's a good question. Actually, I have 2 kids. My kids are 7 and 3.5, and so one of them is a first grader and one of them is in pre-K. And actually, we just switched schools this year, and so I just had the opportunity to actually go through this and think about what I was looking for in a school. And I think I was looking for a few different things. The first is I was really looking for a school that modeled the values and the community that I actually want to live in and that I want to see for the world. And so I was looking for a school that treated kids as people who should make decisions about what they do, and people who should have agency, and who should have high standards for how they work with each other, and wanted a school that would teach them to be peacemakers in the world. And so I was looking for a lot of that, and doing so in a really diverse community, the sort of community that I want to live in the world. And so that was one thing I was looking for. And the other is, you know, you send your kids to school, you want them to learn a lot. And so I wanted a school where my kids were going to come home every day with their brains being stretched and having learned interesting, challenging new things. And it turns out, I guess no surprise to anyone, it turns out it's easier to describe what you're looking for than to find a school that perfectly meets all of those tests. But that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Okay, next question from Josh Dormant.
Okay.
He asks, a lot of chatter around social media speaks to the fact that folks feel like we're hearing but not listening and acting on criticisms. What are some of the biggest ways that we actually have engaged with and responded with critics, and ways that criticism has focused our own self-reflection and in turn our approach?
I would say two things about it. One, we're about to go into this strategic alignment planning process where we're really stepping back as an organization and in earnest talking about what contributions, great contributions, has Teach for America made to this work, and what have we learned as a result, and what are the things that if we're truly charting the course to like win this ball game and be a contributor to winning this, what do we have to do? And in that quest, we're going to ask ourselves the tough questions that came up during our listening tour, and I think it's in much response to some of our biggest questions that I would say that we get. And then as we reflect on the 5 commitments that, you know, we shared with everyone after our listening tour, in particular, you know, really focusing on ensuring that as we think about growth, it's really coming from the ground up and focused on communities, and that's a big shift that we've made. And then just the focus generally on communities, and that being where we are reorganizing ourselves so that we are truly responsive and being relevant community by community. Next question, it comes from Ben Schumacher. And he wants to know, what are 1 or 2 types of game-changing innovations that you are most hoping that regions will take on in this new operating model?
Good question. So just let me preface my answer by saying, if I knew what the answer to this question was, there would be a faster way to get there than asking regions to come up with their own ideas. So I don't know what the answer is going to be, and I really do believe the answer will emerge from people working hand in hand with local school partners and local community leaders and parents and kids themselves to say what kind of schooling fulfills all of our local dreams and aspirations. Some of the things that are on my mind that seem promising to work on, one of them is, I think, when I think about summer pre-service training, when I think about what happens at an institute, I think we have accepted the frame of summer as a largely content delivery remedial experience that the world has handed to us. And I actually don't think that's the most powerful frame, either for our kids or for our teachers, learning to be folks who approach this work as what's the biggest impact that I can have and how do I get there. And so I'm hoping that some regions actually really break out of that box in summer school and think of a way that core members can have the space to really lead kids on a journey of impact over the summer. Academic impact, but impact. Next one comes from Charlie Odom.
Okay.
Charlie writes, it seems that many people in our organization have different views on what the problem we're working to address and the solution to confront it is. One group believes that it lies in education, and I've seen people in this group prioritize instructional leadership, measurable achievement, and skills. Another group sees that it lies in race, and I've seen these people prioritize more culturally responsive practices and mindsets. So in your opinion, what is the problem we're working to solve, and how should that direct our actions and decisions?
The problem that we're working to address is the fact that kids growing up in low-income communities don't have access to a great education, and the roots of those causes are all the things I think that were mentioned in there. Low expectations, certainly racism plays a role in all of this, the lack of resources that our schools have to meet the needs of kids growing up in poverty, the realities of poverty and what kids bring to a school. Those are all the problems, and we're saying to give kids an equal shot in life, education has proven to be one of the most incredible opportunities that one can have. It doesn't dismiss the fact that we have all these realities confronting our kids and communities. But you know, we believe that schools and education can play a real role in actually meaningfully changing the trajectory of kids' lives, and we have, you know, hundreds and hundreds of examples that that is possible. So I guess what I would say is I actually don't see, you know, testing or like accountability and like, you know, rigorous curriculum in conflict with culturally competent teaching. I in fact think separating those and not seeing them as like, kids need high academic standards, kids need to, you know, for us to really believe they can do this, and they need to be taught in a way that's culturally relevant and really recognizes their values and their assets and their culture and all that they have to bring to bear. And that in fact we have to bring that together, and I think we've been trying to separate those, and I think that's incredibly dangerous. And who cares if we do the cultured competent part, but then kids don't know how to read. And then you teach kids how to read and do the academics, yet they don't know how to deal with the world and how they fit into it and what they actually bring to bear and have the confidence and understanding of who they are, and can shine and truly meet their potential. So yeah, I think it's a great question, and that's my answer. Kirk, we're out of questions. Right back to you.
Thanks, guys. Don't forget to catch our live event, What's Next at Teach for America, on Tuesday, March 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at teachforamerica.org/live. And submit your questions for that event at livequestion@teachforamerica.org. And that's our show. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.